priority for H20 AI?
Well, I think from our perspective is we really want to help, and I'll sort of tag on Tim's point, is we want to help the federal government solve these really large problems that aren't just in one niche area, but really go across the entire enterprise of government, right? And to use AI where it makes sense and to help move really from experimentation into production, right? We're seeing lots and lots and lots of activities. People are all sort of kicking the tires and they've got different use cases. But now how do you take it out of that experimentation phase and begin to scale it and do it rapidly? And this is an area where we're the absolute leader in the world when it comes to that, moving from experimentation into production. I can say probably in our commercial practice, they're moving, new data models and business cases into production in about 2 weeks. Well, and around government, it might be 9 months, it might be a year. And so even if you can collapse that a little bit more, you're now able to really help solve these problems and do it quickly. And coming out of the regulated industries, as you mentioned earlier, Luke, having everything auditable, right? There's Tim's office has done a ton of great work around responsible AI and explainable AI, right? If a person who's non-technical, if it's someone in Congress, if they don't understand why decisions are being made, right? They need to make sure a protected class hasn't been affected or there's some bias in the model that they weren't aware of. Those types of things need to be immediately apparent. They need to be documented. They need to be audited. You have to be able to repeat these experiments and so forth. These are things that we do every day in our practice that we're now beginning to bring over. So a use case, Luke, documents, the number of faxes that are processed across the federal government and are still reviewed by humans. It's part of that workflow, understanding. In medical areas, for example, in the VA and HHS, these are very technical documents. You can't have a non-qualified person really review them and advance them. And so there are capabilities that allow you to do that. I think another one is policy announcements. Any agency, you've got anytime a new policy may be announced, it's open for public comment. Well, amazingly, a lot of that work and the review is done by humans, right? This goes to that burnout issue that you and Tim both talked about. Well, if there's a way where we can allow machines to do a lot of this pick and shovel work and review, and you have a human in the loop, you have that cognitive component verifying it. Now you're able to say, hey, we don't need to leave this policy open for 9 months, not because it needs to be open for 9 months, but because it's taking us 9 months to review 20,000 comments and encapsulate those. So for us, I think it's just helping our mission partners and agency partners across government begin to understand what the art of the possible is, getting out of experimentation, moving into production, and they don't have to leave explainability or documentation or repeatability or that audit. That all comes with the deal. That's table stakes these days. And if your technology partner isn't able to show you that almost instantly, they probably aren't able to do it. It's black boxed, and that gets everybody in trouble.